Welcome, everybody. Welcome. I want to start out by saying all constitutional rights invoked, none waived. All constitutional rights invoked, herein none waived. Okay, this is going to be a continuation from the last video. This is going to be part two. Okay, is this going to be part two of what do we want to see happen next? This is part two. Okay. Now, I know I said that part two was going to be coming out rapidly, and the reason why it hasn't come out rapidly is because we were waiting for some things to take place that we were informed about, okay? Some other different sinister plots against myself, for speaking out, certain revenge tactics, certain people want to have because I aired out their dirty laundry on this channel. So we're looking at, some retaliatory acts and things of that nature. So we're going to be calling out those names today in this video. We won't go in too many of the specifics, but those people we know will be watching this video or will be tipped in on the message in this video. So we're going to be speaking directly to them via this protected content, via this constitutionally protected content, whether they like it or not. Okay. The first thing I said is our community posts are very important. So we have some pictures of some of the defendants in previous cases and some of the people that we would like to see brought to justice. Now, we're going to be talking about some new people here, and we're not going to be giving a ton of details of what transpired, but we're going to give enough information to allow them to know that we know they exist and we know who they've been communicating with. And we have all that information and we're ready to talk about it in this video today. So the first thing we want to talk about is organized crime. Let's just start there because I want to touch on that. Organized crime can consist of many different parties, different types of parties, and that things of that nature. Now, there was a law that was created called the RICO Law, and the RICO Law was specifically designed and created to combat this type of behavior and this type of organized thwarts against justice or cover-ups or what have you, or retaliatory acts against one individual or against a group of individuals. Now, it is important for an individual to remain sound and present themselves in a very sound manner so that these people don't try to say, oh, you're crazy or you don't know what you're talking about and things of that nature. So it's kind of hard to call someone crazy that can do legal work and that can also prove cases and bring witnesses in and all of that. Okay, so it's pretty hard to call a person like that crazy, okay, especially if they have evidence to support the claims that they're setting forth. Now, I want to go into this and talk more further about organized crime, because organized crime, it doesn't really have to happen to someone that's famous, or it doesn't really have to happen to someone that has a lot of money. Organized crime could happen to anyone. Anyone could be a victim of that simply because maybe you spoke out against a certain individual that didn't like it and they're exercising or attempting to exercise a certain level of power, of authority that they want to try to tap into to try to punish you for exercising your constitutional authority and for speaking out against their wrongdoing. Now, if a person hasn't done any wrongdoing towards you and you're speaking out against them and you're speaking out in things that are not based in fact, then that's different. But what we speak here is based in fact, and that's why we're able to still speak, and that's why we will continue to be able to still speak, and we will continue to provide facts as we learn them. Okay, so now we want to specifically get down to the situations that has been happening. Now, specifically today, we had to take some legal action in the courts because we had a property management company who was attempting to pull some schemes on us and was attempting to misrepresent certain information. And, when we had our investigation going on, starting back in March, a lot of this stuff was already looked at and monitored and we were waiting. So a lot of people say, well, I've gotten emails from a lot of people saying, well, Mark, what happened? Or what are you guys doing? What happened to part two of the video? We didn't come out with the part two of the video rapidly because we knew what was going to take place. So we wanted to wait to see if that would actually take place. And those acts have taken place up to this point. So we took the necessary legal steps to, seek redress for those acts, and we're handling those appropriately. But what we're going to do today in this video is talk about who, what, where, and why. So specifically, the name of the property management company is XCD Realty Property and Management. And, I have done some lot of background on this property management company. I've done business with them, and they tried to pull a little scheme, and they were caught trying to pull a scheme on me, and we had to take specific action in the court. We had to take specific action for that. So those things will be pursuing. They were also in communication. This particular property management was in communication with certain family members of mine in Ohio, okay, illegally. These family members are not a part of any kind of contractual business that I had with this property management company, or that I have or would have with this property management company. And they were sharing certain pertinent information about my accounts with certain members of my family under the direction of I don't know who, but we will learn that. Those details will become to learn. And so they can be tied directly to the state of Ohio, which we also know who they were communicating with in my family in the state of Ohio. And that particular person specifically reached into the state of Arizona, okay, reaching out to this property management company, okay, making communications that they should not have been making according to the law. Okay, so because of that individual that resides in Ohio, she know who she is. Because of that individual, what she has done is she's reached into the state of Arizona, so she has given them personal jurisdiction on the state level, so she can be tried on the state level and added to the civil action that is now pending against the XCD Property and Realty Management Company. Okay, all right, because she basically got with them to create undue burden on me for whatever reason. Okay, I don't know if someone was in their feelings or whatever, but we are getting down to the bottom of everything. So she know who she is. So there's not going to be a situation where you can get a lawyer and that lawyer say, well, Arizona doesn't have any personal jurisdiction over you. They most certainly do, because you reached your fucking hand in this state, okay, by dialing into this state and calling this number through wires. Through wires. And what you have done is you have gotten yourself involved in something that you wasn't ready for. This is not what you wanted. This is not. This is not what you wanted. Okay, so let's get into further depth. So now what has happened is now you have given the state of Arizona personal jurisdiction. Now let's get back to this property management company. This property management company, okay, is having other legal difficulties somewhere too, according to some of my investigators. Okay, so they have a history of having some things of this nature going on that we're also looking to connect the dots into. Okay, so how dare them try me like this? So on this date, there was a proceeding today that took place today. And in that proceeding, we had a lot of judicial abuse by Judge Jess Lorona of the Dreamy Draw Justice Courts in Maricopa County, Arizona. He was specifically ferocious on the record. He was not trying to listen to anything that I say. And he alleged that some documents that I sent into that court was never received last week when I sent them in. So we had FedEx Kinko's make sure those documents were sent in last week and today of this morning, along to all the defendants. The defendants verified that they received those documents, and this particular judge or so-called judge magistrate, he got on the record saying, oh, well, those documents have not been received and we never received them, and just lying, okay, just lying. So what happened is I waited until the tail end of the day and I provided a call in to me, and a couple of my team members called into the Dreamy Draw courts, and the clerk, she said, we have received those documents, but we're not going to put them on the record until Monday. Why would you not put them on the record until Monday when you knew there was a trial today and those records had to be included in there? Okay, you knew that. You knew that. Okay, and those same records were also sent to you last week, and we called to make sure those records were sent in. And what did you do? You said that you received them. And then when the proceeding came, oh, we can't see, we can't print them out, we don't see. You can't fucking play that game with me. You play that game with me, you playing with your job, you playing with your freedom, you playing with your retirement, you playing with all that. Because you're going to be playing with Title 18 USC 241 and 242. That was also filed in the affidavit that was filed on that record, which was also absent from the record and alleged never received and sent in. So if you're going to tell me that if we subpoena the employees from the FedEx Kinko's that does this every day and that has us on camera in there actually sending you the documents and showing the transmissions and everything, and we show that, you're going to sit up there and you're going to put your retirement and your freedom on the line by lying and saying that you never received them? You want to play with me like that? Are you really ready for that smoke, Judge Jess Lorona? You're not ready for that. This is not what y'all wanted. Because see, now you a part of Title 18 now, as far as I'm concerned. You was warned. You didn't listen. You thought you was being cute on that record. Now this is my opportunity to make my record. This is my fucking courtroom. And you see that thing behind me? You have an oath to honor that. And I'm going to smash your face in it. Legally. Ethically. Morally. Respectfully. Publicly. Repeatedly. What you did in this proceeding today is a direct reflection of the improper judicial activity that goes on in these people. This other people that these things are happening to have nobody to stand up for them. They have nothing to, this stuff just goes on. It's not going to go on with me. So this is going to be your message to marinate on for the weekend, because we know you're going to get this in this video. Okay? And XCD Realty, you just really messed up, because the documents that you turned in were so fraudulent. You could smell the ammonia coming from it. The ammonia coming from the documents just burned my eyes. It's so unbelievable that you thought that you could pull this over on me. We gonna make an example out of you, period. We don't want to hear no cries or, oh, this was a misunderstanding. Tell it to the jury. Okay? And we gonna see how many other people y'all was doing this to. Okay? And whoever gave you the idea to do this, we gonna find them too. So if you're getting any kind of reporting from any handlers or whatever, we're gonna squeeze you for their information. Okay? And we're gonna get it. You're gonna tell, because you're gonna want to be at home with your family for this Christmas. Nobody's going to roll the dice for you to give up that time that they need to be spending with their family for this holiday season. We specifically waited to kick into action for this holiday season because we know that's important to people. We not playing no games. So this stuff that was pulled off today, congratulations, because you just afforded yourself more defendants that's going to jail for the holiday season. This is going to be happening fast. Fast, quickly. Okay? So good luck. Good luck. This is why we waited for part 2. And Trish Jeffrey at XCD Realty. Trish Jeffrey, we're going to have some questions for you. And if you don't cooperate with us, we're going to add you as a defendant under the RICO law because we know you've been reaching into Ohio speaking to you know who. Okay? We're not going to tolerate any of this mess anymore. This stuff is about to start getting cleaned up right away. Okay? The sitting time is over. The sitting ducks are up off their asses. Okay? So this is what is taking place. Okay? With this property management company. You guys thought you were slick. We're going to see how that holds up in federal and state court. Congratulations. Happy holidays. Go home and tell your wives that you'll be fighting legal proceedings all throughout this holiday season for this shit that you just tried to pull. Okay? So we're going to leave that right there. We're going to leave that right there. Okay? We're going to get into next. We're going to follow up off of part 1 of this series where I was talking about what we want to see happen. Further, what we're going to need to see happen is we're going to need to see Mr. Muhammad Toko. He's going to need to be sat down and questioned for his involvement with the thwarting of justice and retaliatory acts in the judicial proceeding and using judicial components as retaliatory acts for the RICO lawsuit. Okay, he's also a component. Okay, that we're interested in. All right. Okay, of course, we're very interested in Todd Sidoti. That's going to be justice. He's on our community post, so of course we want that. Okay. The Judge Lindsay at the eviction court in Columbus, Ohio. Okay. Columbus, Ohio's eviction, the Franklin County Municipal Court that handles the eviction, Judge Lindsay. Title 18, 241 and 242 is upon you. We're going to need that. Okay. Of course, we're going to need that for Judge Michael J. Holbrook. The entirety of that case, the way that it dragged on and all of the evidence in that case and all of the ignoring of invocation of constitutional rights, that they don't have a option whether they want to grant or not. They are bound to the authority of those and they just did what they want to do. We have to have justice for that. Of course, we really need to have the staff attorney Schaefer. We need to have her specifically also tried under that because she was very malicious of how she positioned those orders in the paperwork and the just thwarting of certain dates and data from the record. So she also, that's going to be justice. And I believe she's on our community post as well. Of course, Stacey Gilbert is on our community post, which was the attorney that was acting as the legal representative for my brother in his divorce case. She also needs to be tried under 18 U.S.C. 241 and 242 for her involvement in knowing that my brother was going to be killed. She knew it, and we can prove that she knew it in federal court. Okay, so that needs to happen, of course. Now, I want to talk about, is there any new people? So one says, oh, is there any new people? Well, is there any people that you forgot about? We're also going to need to go back down to internal affairs, okay? And all the people that we interviewed with in internal affairs of the Columbus Division of Police, we're going to need them to be questioned, okay? What did you do as a means of redress for the McCormick brothers when they came down there and complained about the conduct surrounding the failure to investigate the forgery case, this, that, and the other. So they're going to have a nice time and a nice holidays answering those questions. And particularly, we want to say um, there was a particular investigator that we met with down there. He was very, respectful at that internal affairs, and he was basically he was a very hard worker, and he also uh, moonlights for Red Lobster. He works in there in the Red Lobsters in Columbus. I don't know if he still does that, but he was one of the ones that was really, doing his job and doing what needed to be done for the situation. So, we don't want nothing to happen with him. We don't want any kind of charges against him. But a lot of those people, they need to be charged in there, because it's just wrong that they could just turn their back on certain things when they decide, we're not deciding. We're deciding we're not going to do nothing. I also had someone from the task force division down there in Columbus contact me, and he said, well, we understand that you have this evidence and all of this, and we understand, but we don't have to prosecute if we don't want to. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You have a constitutional authority that you have to. You don't get to decide that, and there's components and mechanisms that could be used to do that, and those components and mechanisms will be tapped into in this near future to, bring some of these people to justice, and then they'll get to learn how that worked, because that's not something that's common. It's not commonly used because people don't know about it. Okay, but it's there, and it's there for purposes when certain law enforcement officials have jurisdiction, but they want to sit on their thumbs, and they feel like they don't want to do anything because maybe they feel like you're not important enough, or you don't own enough property, or you're not this or that, or it could be any kind of prejudgment of character, or maybe something they heard about you, or they say, okay, we're not going to do nothing. Then you have to bound them constitutionally, and there's mechanisms that you do that, and we will be exercising those mechanisms because we know that these people will try to get protection and organize thwarting of justice, as many times that happened in the past. But there's going to be redress for that completely through the new federal case that's going to be filed. But predominantly, we're focused on the criminal case surrounding all of these issues, because we want to see these people go to jail for this type of organized attacks on individuals, and organized cover-ups and organized misinterpretation of facts. So that's what we wanted to address in this video today. So again, there will be regular people and both family members of mine that will be going to jail. We will be seeing to it that they go to jail. No amount of money or apologies is going to make that change. These people have to be put in jail for these kind of malicious acts and these type of cover-ups and these type of retaliatory acts, just as the cops retaliated in the Columbus Division of Police when Moses and I traveled to Columbus, Ohio, and they wrote that dubious ticket. Okay, things like that have to be addressed, and we're going to need legislation for these certain things, because this is not right. And see, normally what they thought they was going to see is they thought they were going to see a Mark that were going to get on camera screaming and going crazy, and they're going to say, oh, he's going crazy. And we also have the information that came to us that let us know that they were trying to manufacture a crisis for me to make it seem like, oh, I'm losing my mind, or oh, he can't do this or he can't do that. So they tried to paint this picture that I'm crazy or losing my mind, or that I'm losing everything, or that, I'm not crazy, I'm not losing everything, I'm not out of my mind, and I'm very sound minded. Okay. None of these attacks are doing anything. It's just, all it's doing is itching. It's making my back itch a little bit. Okay. And I don't like reaching back. Okay. When I reach back, I want to be reaching back for something else. I don't want to be reaching back to scratch my back. Okay. When I'm reaching for something, I want to be reaching for something serious, not to scratch my back because a little tick want to jump on there and try to create undue burden. But we're going to show you what undue burden is all about. Okay. And we're going to show you just how good we built for this, and just how good we're going to show the facts and prove the facts to air out your dirty laundry, and everybody involved is just going down. So as I said before, reality speaks for itself. Time speaks for itself. Here we are, almost about a year into the situation. I'm still carrying on, and justice will prevail. It's prevailing. It has started, and you'll see more as we get into this. And there has been other legal proceedings that have been initiated, and it's going to be a very interesting holiday season for a lot of people. So buckle up. We're going to keep you abreast, and part 3 is going to come out as a continuation of this to further let you guys know what happened further about this new situation that I was just talking about that took place today here in the Dreamy Draw Justice Courts in Phoenix, Arizona. Okay. Apparently this Judge Jess Lorona didn't do his homework. Okay. He didn't do his homework. I'm going to pick him apart and see if he's doing this to everybody systematically and not giving people a chance to speak, and alleging that documents is missing. So we're going to pick him apart real good and make sure that he's on the up and up. Okay. When we get done with him, they're gonna call him Judge Jess Corona. Okay, because we're gonna look all into you. Okay, if this is what you guys have been doing to people, we're gonna get an injunction on you, on your little systematic process. So get ready, gear up, and we will be keeping the audience abreast on this on part 3. But we're very diligent in our approach to justice. And again, we are sound-minded. The team is doing well. We thank y'all, all of our supporters. We love y'all. We thank y'all. We want to give a special shout out to Janice, with Unpacked. We love you. And we also want to give a special shout out to all of the people who believed in us from day one and didn't wait for all this time to say, oh, well, this or that. You guys know our day one supporters. We know who you are. We love you. We send good energy from the cosmos to you, to your spirit. And we're going to have justice in the most beautiful way possible and at the most highest ultimate level. A lot of you guys have sense. Reality speak for itself. Here we are this much time later. I'm still right with you in this journey. So with that said, all constitutional rights invoked, none waived. I want you guys specifically to pay attention to our community posts. Our community posts will be containing a lot of the information and pictures of these new people that got themselves involved in this situation. We will be publishing their photos. We will be telling specifically what their involvement were and how they tie into the RICO action, and how we were able to tie them in to Ohio, and why the state of Arizona's courts have personal jurisdiction over some people in Ohio for their reaching in here. Okay. So we're going to get down to business. There's going to be a lot of action, and a lot of people on the Jelly team are quiet. Okay. You don't hear nothing from them anymore. There's a reason for that. Okay. And there's going to be a reason why we're going to ultimately prevail in all of this, no matter who like it, just as we promised years ago. Okay. And no one will escape. So just know that all constitutional rights invoked, none waived, and we're coming for y'all.